Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are going to look at narcissistic behaviors. I can bet 100% sure that you've ever heard of this word. A narcissist, in simple words, means a person who is so full of themselves. They see themselves as art of perfection and all they do is suck the energy out of others. These kind of people with this behavior are everywhere. They can be girlfriends, wives, husbands, siblings, and even parents actually. A lot of people have suffered a lot growing under toxic narcissistic parents. On today's video, I'm going to give you 10 common behaviors that narcissists portray. Stick to the end of this video to know if you might be dating that kind of a person. The first thing we need to understand is, where does this behavior originate from? How does someone become a narcissist? A couple of things might lead to this. One being environmental factors. This is where you grew up, who you grew up with. And another factor being genetic factors. Genetic could mean that you got it from your parents or your family line. Remember, it's not easy for a narcissist to change unless they genuinely notice they need help. Because remember, these people are so entitled and they strongly believe that they are never wrong. And you understand that you can never change yourself when you don't see your mistakes. Always remember that. Number 1, they have troubled relationships. Narcissists struggle to keep permanent relationships, whether it's with friends, family, and even at their workplaces. Remember, these people are ever right and they are above everyone. So for them, apologizing or mending broken relationships, it's none of their business. They pick and drop friends, and that is just how they run their lives. They do not care if they lose connections with people. That is not an issue to them. Number 2 being, they gaslight. Gaslighting is a very common behavior that narcissists portray. Gaslighting means manipulating someone emotionally and twisting the reality to the point that the victim feels like they are the ones who are wrong. And they actually apologize to the narcissist. Just how twisted is that? They feel like something is wrong, but they cannot identify what that is. So the victim will always be confused and they can't really know what the problem is. They feel like there's something wrong, but they cannot tell what exactly is wrong with that relationship. They overreact when you try break up with them or ask for a break. Let me tell you, if you try declare a breakup from a narcissist, you will go through a nightmare. They'll throw tantrums, they'll cry, they'll call your friends to ask them to make you change your mind, they'll show all signs of sympathy. They will apologize and promise 1,000 times that they will not repeat their mistakes. Some go to an extreme level of threatening to commit suicide. And trust me, you being the normal human being, it will hit your soft spot and you will decide to stay. But joke's on you if you think they are going to change. They won't change anything, and if they do, it is just for a while. Then they get back to their factory settings. It will be back and forth efforts of trying to break free from what feels like a prison. They demand constant praise and attention. One of the most common signs of a narcissist is a constant need for praise and admiration. People with this behavior need to feel validation from others and often brag and exaggerate their accomplishment for recognition. They also like to feel appreciated to boost their ego. Lack of responsibility. This kind of people never take accountability for anything they do. Everyone is to be blamed but not them, even on the most obvious mistakes. This affects their approach on solving disputes and disagreements, and this now explains why they can't maintain friendships or jobs. They have a very cunning way of turning their mistakes to your mistakes or blaming you for making them commit those mistakes. Like, how crazy is that really? And this narrows down to how they apologize. They never say, Jen, I'm sorry for doing this. I will not repeat. They'll be like, Jen, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I didn't know that's how you feel. You're just sensitive. That is how they apologize. They have backhanded apologies. So at the end of the day, you remain there asking yourself, am I overreacting? Is this really how it is, or it's just me being sensitive? And that's because he has made you believe that you are overreacting. And in real sense, it could be a real problem. Like, it could be something very serious, but the way he puts his words, the way he apologizes, it'll make you doubt yourself. They lack empathy. This is another narcissistic behavior. This means the narcissist is unwilling or unable to empathize with needs, wants, or even feelings for other people. You cannot explain to them how you feel. You cannot explain to them how they hurt you. They can't understand. They just don't see your point. They don't understand why you're complaining. To them, I feel like to them it's not such a big deal. And this also makes it difficult for them to take responsibility for their own behavior. They have arrogance. Narcissists already see themselves as superior than others, so they may become rude or abusive when you don't receive the treatment they want, or when they don't receive the treatment they think they deserve. While they hold themselves superior, they may speak or act rudely towards those who appear to be inferior or vulnerable. They isolate you from your family and friends. This is a very clean divide and rule strategy narcissists love to use to fully control you without anybody else coming to your rescue or ruining his plans. They will see problems with all your friends and family members. They will then go ahead to point them out one by one and ask you to unfriend them. Some will even blackmail you. They'll tell you, if you don't leave this particular family member or friend, then I'll break up with you. And sometimes love can be completely blinding, and you may find yourself alienating away from your loved ones without any good reason, just because Mr. Right or Mrs. Right has said you should. They are insecure and sometimes they stalk you. Remember, most narcissists are insecure. That's why they don't want you to realize your worth or have someone to point out a problem she's going through. If he or she start feeling that you are starting to find a voice, they'll accuse you of so many things, cheating being one of them. They fully convince themselves that you are cheating without no single evidence. Some will even create fake accounts to follow you and stalk you and see what you are up to. Some will hire someone to follow you every time you step out to innocently run your errands. And interestingly, at the end of the day, they could be the ones cheating and not you. And lastly, on number 10, they have a profile to maintain. Do not ever think even for a minute that a narcissist would want to be seen as bad in the outside world. They have two sides of their personalities, the lion back at home and the nice person to your family and mutual friends. If you dare tell out what he does at home, no one will believe you. This is because of the image he or she has built and maintained out there. So people know him differently, and you on your side, you know him very differently. It's really hard to convince people that he's doing something wrong. And that is why the only way you will know these people is by actually living with them, staying with them, spending more time with them is when now the true colors will come out. If you are a narcissist, you need to get help. It is not a rare disorder. It is actually one of the most common social disorders, and it can be corrected. All you need to do is accept that you need help and start going to the therapist for the sake of yourself and the people around you. If you are a victim, you need to understand that you are worthy, you are enough, you deserve peace of mind, love, and everything that the world has to offer. Do not hesitate to walk out of any kind of relationship that is toxic and not your cup of tea. And before you get into another relationship, you need to make sure that you've healed first. Otherwise, you'll be running from one narcissist to another, wondering who bewitched you. Another important thing is narcissists know the kind of people to pick on. Their victims are always the ones with low self-esteem, those who are not aware of their self-worth. In short, they target the vulnerable group. That is why I insist so much in loving and knowing yourself before even dating anyone. It will help you big time. No one will play around with your feelings because they realize you know yourself and you won't stoop low in the name of a relationship. So my parting line today will be, find yourself before you find someone else. Thank you so much guys for listening to me. We've reached the end of our video. I hope you learned something. I hope you picked something on today's video. And like the video, continue subscribing. Thank you so much for your support. At the comment section, talk to me. Tell me what you've learned today. If you have questions or suggestions, tell me at the comment section. Thank you.